Hello my dear students. So today in this class we will discuss about the forest or the natural vegetation of Assam. So here you see, basically as we know, Assam is a northeastern state and quite rich in botanical gardens, at the same time rich in vegetation also. So the natural environment of the state is highly favorable for the growth of a variety of plants, and the state is also known as what, land of jungles, till the middle of the last century. So it was known, not it is known, because as land of jungles till the middle of the last century. So Assam is also was also known as what, land of jungles, because due to its rich forest cover. But recently now this notion came to an end, because nowadays everywhere we can see deforestation and the destruction of natural cover. So here you see, the human settlements were not at widespread as it today. So at that time, at the middle of the last century, the human settlements were not that much widespread, yeah, as if we compare in the present day context. Okay, so as per the 1951 census, the total population of Assam was only 8.03 million. So it was only 8.03 million according to 1951 census. Next it increased to 31.16 million in 2011. Is it clear, all of you? So next you see, the growth of population and consequent spread of settlements, agriculture, roads, industries, etc. have put great pressure on the forest of the state. So these are the some kind of anthropological causes, or we can say man-made causes, which are quite responsible for the deterioration of the forest cover of the state. And even if we compare to many other states of the country, the forests of Assam are highly diverse in character, and this is only because of topographical diversity and suitable climate. So we can find some kind of diverse vegetational cover in Assam due to its topography and topographical diversity, and at the same time due to its diverse and the suitable climate also. So first of all, we can say that the entire forest cover or vegetation of Assam can be further divided into many types, or further we can say into 5 main types. So let us say the forest of the state. So here, as it is given in your book, it has been clearly divided into 5 types. The first one is the tropical evergreen forest. Sorry. So next is tropical semi-evergreen forest, tropical moist deciduous forest, riverine forest, and tropical dry deciduous forest. So here we will see in a broad way the the classifications of different types of forest and their characteristics, the different characteristics of these type of 5 types of vegetations. So first of all, let us see now the tropical evergreen forest. So these type of forests are seen in the areas of high rainfall. Such forests are also called rainforest, and these occur in the areas having a yearly rainfall of about 300 centimeter or more. So basically these type of forest, we can say, when the annual rainfall is more than 300 centimeter or more, and in these parts the tropical evergreen type of forest grow. These type of tropical evergreen forests are basically found in the foothills close to Arunachal Pradesh, the southern parts of Tinsukia and Dibrugarh districts, and some hilly areas of the Barak Valley, because these are some kind of foothill regions, and in these regions maximum amount of rainfall occurs, and due to high amount of rainfall the leaves of the trees remain green in all the months, or we can say in 12 months. Is it clear, all of you? So these are known as what? Tropical evergreen type of forest. So basically the evergreen forest occur with three layers. The first layer is composed of very tall trees. In the evergreen forest of Assam, very tall trees like holong, mekai are found. So these are some of the examples of evergreen forest which are quite found in Assam. So next you see the second layer is formed by shorter trees like nahar, siyanahar, and amari. And the third layer is composed of short trees and grasses. So basically the entire tropical evergreen forest are formed or it occurs into three layers: the very high tall layer, the medium layer, and the low layer. So and there are some kind of different types of trees which can be come under into these different types of layers. Next you see, besides trees, a variety of climbers, bamboos, cans, orchids are found in the evergreen forest. So at present, this type of forest has been badly reduced in size due to several causes. As again we came to know that only the anthropogenic or the man-made causes are quite responsible for the deterioration of the forest cover. So nowadays, these three layers of forest are also quite reducing for only due to this anthropogenic causes. Is it clear, all of you? So if the question may come, suppose write one example of the evergreen type of forest, then you can write bamboo also, holong, mekai. No need to mention their layers. Is it clear? So this will come into this tropical evergreen type of forest. Again, no need to mention the first layer or the second layer, the third layer. No need to mention. Just mention the example or the name of the tree which fall under this tropical evergreen type of forest. Is it clear, all of you? So next we'll see tropical semi-evergreen type of forest. So now from tropical evergreen, now next is what? Tropical semi-evergreen type of forest. So basically these type of forest occurs in the northern Bhabar zone of the Brahmaputra valley and parts of the hilly Karbi Anglong. So all you know, I think Bhabar and Tarai, isn't it? So Bhabar is the the layer next, it is quite to the the foothill regions. It is quite comprises of some pebbles, some that stony materials. This belt is known as what? Bhabar. And Tarai is what? Some kind of swampy areas where some kind of tall grasses are found and where all the some kind of that animals used to survive there. Is it clear? That means the greenery part is known as what? The Tarai, and the these pebbles and the rugged topography next to the foothill is known as what? Bhabar zone. So that's why this semi-evergreen forest in this Bhabar zone, as the rainfall decreases, so it is known as what? Semi-evergreen. And it is quite fall in the Bhabar zone of the Brahmaputra valley, parts of the hilly Karbi Anglong and Dima Hasao districts, and the southern part of the Barak valley. Is it clear? So here you see the soils of the Bhabar zone are composed of the sands, pebbles, or we can say pebbles also. Next, transported by the streams coming down from the Himalayas, and these soils are loose in structure. So such an environment is favorable for the semi-evergreen type of forest. Is it clear, all of you? So next you see the tropical moist deciduous forest. So in certain parts of lower Brahmaputra valley, Karbi Anglong, Dima Hasao districts and the Barak valley, this type of forest occurs. So generally the areas having nearly rainfall of about 200 to 250 centimeter favor the growth of this forest. So basically you see the tropical deciduous type of forest are those forests where annual average rainfall occurs from 200 to 250 centimeter. Is it clear, all of you? So don't get confused. Where we can find the evergreen type of vegetation where there is maximum amount of rainfall is what? 300 or more than 300 centimeter of rainfall. In that particular areas we find the evergreen type of vegetation. That means the leaves of the trees quite remain its evergreen throughout all the 12 months. Is it clear, all of you? Next you see in the parts where the rainfall occurs from 200 to 250 centimeter, here we can find deciduous type of forest. And what is semi-evergreen type of forest? Here that is more than 250 centimeter but less than 300 centimeter of rainfall. In that particular areas we get semi-evergreen type of forest. So basically, the evergreen type of vegetation of forest generally we find in the upper Assam areas, and the tropical moist deciduous type of forest which generally found in the lower Assam areas. Basically, the lower parts of Brahmaputra Valley, Karbi Anglong, Dima Hasao districts, and the Barak Valley also. Is it clear, all of you? So the trees which shade their leaves during winter are called deciduous type of forest or deciduous type of trees. That means in these trees quite shade their leaves during the winter season. For example, that Sal, Makori, Sal, Gomari, Amlokhi, Bhumura, Gohara, Khokora, Simolo, etc. So these are some of the examples of deciduous types of forest, moist deciduous type of forest. Next you see the sal forests are mostly seen in the slightly higher lands of South Kamrup and Goalpara district. So here we can find some of the sal forest in the slightly higher land of South Kamrup area and Goalpara district also. Next you see the riverine type of forest. So here we can say that as the Assam is basically the land of rivers, because we have two big rivers, that is Brahmaputra and the Barak, comprising of the Barak Valley and the Brahmaputra Valley, along with its enormous amount of or the numerous amount of tributaries. So the natural environment of the state is to a large extent dominated by the rivers and wetlands. So because this area is quite rich in river bodies, so gradually what we can see that a large number of area is quite dominated by rivers and wetlands. So that's why a special type of forest is generally seen in the wet peripheries of the rivers and wetlands, and which are known as what? Riverine forest. That means periphery means what? It's the boundary areas of the rivers and the wetlands. A typical type of forest we can say that is known as what? Riverine forest. Is it clear, all of you? Next you see, once a large part of Assam was covered by riverine forest, and this type of forest is dominated by some small trees and grasses. Among the trees we can say Som, Soalo, Uriam, Moj, O, Azar, etc. So these are some of the examples of riverine type of trees. Next, the riverine tracts are very favorable for grasses and bushy vegetation such as nal, khagori, tora, kopat, ken, jau, kohua, etc. In Dibrugarh, Kaziranga, in Dibru-Soikhwa, Kaziranga, Orang National Parks, Pobitora Wildlife Sanctuaries, these type of long grasses or tall grasses we can see, and these are quite mainly located in the riverine tract. Is it clear, all of you? So the grasses which we find in this Kaziranga, then Dibru-Soikhwa, or this type of natural wildlife sanctuaries or national parks, this type of Khagori, Tora, Kopa, these are quite known as what? The riverine type of trees, and which are quite basically grow in the wetland areas. That means in the swampy areas, in the very wet areas. Is it clear, all of you? So due to the expansion of human settlements to the riverine areas also, these forests are getting reduced in size rapidly. So overall, the entire vegetation is quite reducing its size only due to the expansion of settlements. Is it clear, all of you? So next you see the tropical dry deciduous type of forest. So generally these type of forests are quite found in the dry floodplains slightly away from the rivers of Assam. So where we can find these type of dry deciduous forest, the dry floodplains slightly away from the river areas. Is it clear? And two different groups of plants are found here, considerably tall trees and grasses. So where we can find this type of plants, these tall trees and these grasses in this tropical dry deciduous type of forest, which is quite slightly away from the floodplain areas of the rivers. Dominant trees include Sisu, Bhelkor, Simolo, Khair, and Bogori, etc. Birina, Khagori, Ulu, Kush, etc. are the dominant grass species. Is it clear, all of you? So, the dominant trees are Sisu, Bhelkor, Simol, Khair, and Bogori, and Birina, Khagori, Ulu, Kush, these are dominant grass species. So, the dry deciduous forests mainly occur in the dry, sandy areas close to the wet riverine forest areas. So, basically, these are quite grow in the sandy areas and which are quite close to the wet riverine forest area. So, from that river, next we can find the riverine forest areas, and next from the riverine forest areas we can find that dry deciduous forest areas. That means these dry deciduous forest areas are quite slightly away from the direct influence of the rivers. So, and it is quite slightly away from the riverine forest, and basically these are quite grow in the floodplains but which is quite dry in nature. Is it clear? And this is also quite degrading in the expansion only due to the human settlements. So this much is quite enough for this class. So here in this class we have studied about the types of vegetations that are found in both the Brahmaputra as well as the Barak Valley. So next class we will study about the wildlife sanctuaries and the national parks and the administrative divisions of Assam. So this much is quite enough for this class. If you have any kind of doubts, so let me know in our doubt clearing sessions through WhatsApp. Is it clear, all of you? So thank you so much and have a nice day.